If you didn't see yesterday's video, and I followed my good friend Dan and Sean into a full committed entry. Dan unfortunately spun out. I was too far gone to save it, so the front end of his car went right into the door. But thankfully, I know it doesn't really look like it, but the car had absolutely zero damage to it. And when I say the car, I mean the drivability and the whole purpose behind the car. Sure, the body is a little screwed up and the door might be a little screwed up, and there might be a huge dent right here, but the rear wheel was just dodged by inches. We broke no rear suspension arms. Our alignment was still 100% in check, and we drove throughout the whole entire day. Now, when I first got this car, I told you guys it would be my ain't care car. I'm not too focused on the way it looks, and this is what I meant. Sure, I dressed it up with Nismo front parts, Nismo rear parts. I made the car look pretty, but it doesn't hurt as bad knowing this is screwed up. I know a lot of you are like, yes, he's finally gonna wide body the rear, but I'm not. I'm gonna try and pull it out today. I'm gonna try and hammer out some things, pull out some dents. We'll see what the damage is really like. Crown Carbon does offer a 0mm rear over fender, which pretty much means he has a full fender replacement for this. So if we do wanna go to it, I can just throw that on there. But I don't wanna wide body this car and have to run a big fat spacer in the back if I don't have to. So no wide body for me. Now, a few years ago, I actually made a YouTube video called How to Remove Dents with a Suction Cup. It was one of the first videos I ever made, and it's just as simple as you think. These suction cups that you use for GoPros that stick to the side of cars have a good amount of grip. And with that grip, you can oftentimes pull out dents. And right now, my window won't even roll up because the door is smushed in on it. So I bet I'll be able to pull this door out just enough to get the functionality of the window to come back. And that's all I need. Watch what happens when I try to roll the window up. Oh no, now my window won't work at all. It was working yesterday. Well, okay. That's actually news to me. Yesterday this window still worked. I just tried to try it now and the window doesn't work at all. So maybe by throwing the door in too many times, the window might have fallen off its track. Either way, let's try and pull this dent out and see if it helps. We need more suction cups. Damn it. Oh my God. What? Why did coins fall out of that? Well, things really escalated and we haven't filmed any of it because Calvin has been shoulder deep in this door, and after a lot of effort he finally got it off. So we pretty much removed the whole entire door track. Nothing was working. It was a lot of work to get this out. The motor doesn't work, so it was just a nightmare. But now we have access to the door, so I guess in theory I'm just gonna try hammering this out, seeing if I can pop some of it, and we're gonna try to put it all back together. That sounds pretty simple, and I guess it is pretty simple, so let's just give it a shot.
Give it a good kick.
Should I use a rubber mallet? It's working! Yeah! Oh. Ooh. Ooh. Doesn't look that good. I mean, it's still bent, but it looks a little bit better. It looks slightly better. It looks okay.
It's not in.
We had to delete the glass out the door because the motor no longer works, so we just went ahead and just deleted all that. When this door gets absolutely destroyed, like it won't even work anymore, then we'll probably replace it with a new one and we'll have working windows. But for now, we got no window in the driver's seat, which really doesn't matter because I drive with the windows down 99% of the time anyway. Now it's time to see how we can fix this. So this is completely screwed, and there are two layers here. So there's a layer on the outside and there's a layer on the inside which we can't see. Calvin informed me that, hey, we're not even gonna be able to hammer all that out because we can't get to the inside, which I didn't even think about until about just now. So we're gonna try to relieve some pressure off this the best that we can. And this is not the professional way to do it, but it is the cheaper way that I don't wanna spend extra money to get it fixed because it doesn't matter way to do it.
Oh, give me the kick.
I am making a difference, it just looks horrible, but I can actually start to see in it now. It still looks like it's been in a crash, but we kind of popped it out more. But visually, like, if Oh, well, okay. I didn't expect this to like look, I mean.
What I'm saying is like this one looks like, oh, it came out. Like, oh, you kind of undid it. That one still looks like if I was two different people.
Dude, I feel like it looks pretty good.
Because we know what it looked like before.
That looks great, dude.
If you were someone that...
All this was all pinched in.
Yeah, because we know what it looked like before. But if you brought someone that didn't know what it looked like,
okay, I mean,
you'd still be like,
let me make
no,
this.
but like, no, there's a difference here. There's a difference here. I know what you mean. So it's a drift car. It got smashed. That's the point. But what I'm saying is like, it's not like this one. That one's still pretty
bad.
Out to lunch.
All right, well, we're leaking all underneath the car. Let's put it up and see what it looks like. All right, well, I noticed a whole bunch of leaky mess here in the back, and I was worried that it was gonna be the diff that was leaking. And it's not. That's good news. There's an overflow valve on the top of the diff, and the hose literally dumps out right in the subframe, which is why it's all leaking all right here and getting everywhere. Wow, that is a real big mess. But that's a positive. I was expecting to see something bad or maybe like a blown axle, but it's none of those things. Car's looking good. Oh, I wanted to check this. So yeah, all the impact was right here, and the side skirt's a little bit mangled up. I'm looking at the pinch welds on the bottom, and they're straight, which means, in my opinion, it didn't get twisted or pulled anywhere. All the arms are in great condition. While I am underneath it, I'm probably gonna do a nut and bolt over everything, especially the Y side, just to make sure everything is safe. But it is good to know after a full day of beating it, car is still 100%. I really need to get into the habit of always changing the oil on the VQ because the oil consumption on this thing is what kills this car. So we're gonna make sure it always has a fresh fill of oil. Ooh, that's pretty good. A question that I want to ask the 370Z community that watches these videos is me and Sean, who both had 370Zs, I was fighting overheating issues all day, which is expected. Like, I'm not saying, oh, the car shouldn't overheat at all or get hot, but we could do like maybe a lap before my coolant temp was literally like maxed out, and we'd have to like do like 3 cooldown laps to get it down, and immediately it jumps back up. We have an aftermarket radiator setup on here. Sean was running a stock radiator setup. They both pretty much were overheating exactly the same. What are some ways that we can get better cooling? The only thing that we can think of is like doing like a vented hood. I haven't seen like upgraded fans or upgraded anything like that to get the cooling better, so if anyone knows anything, please link it down below. I also have a 34 rows to travel oil cooler in this car, and the oil too immediately gets pegged to like 250, 260 degrees. Like, there were some points where I was like, dude, my oil temp is hotter than my coolant, which is why this is brand new oil, and it's literally black because we absolutely cooked it, which is the main reason why we're always gonna be doing oil changes on this car. But even still, my oil was still getting cooked. Anyone have any additional recommendations as to what I could do? The only thing I can think of is like get a vented hood just to get some of the heat out, and maybe like cut this open more so it has better airflow. I'm not quite sure, but I know there are some of you out there that are way more experienced and have more knowledge about VQs than I do. So help me out if you have any suggestions. I don't know if Valvoline's the only company to do this, but this is the first time that I've seen a pour spout on one of these bottles. I don't know if everyone else has done it, but that is an amazing idea, and I don't know why companies haven't done that sooner. So I'm gonna be using the 5W30, and I normally use the VR1 in the race cars, and I could use the VR1 in this car, but what makes this oil special is this is their high mileage, so it's like aiming for motors that are over 75,000 miles. It comes with a few extra ingredients that help create like a thicker, more durable like anti-wear film within the oil. So that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and use this just cause I wanna try something new today, and this motor has 80,000 miles, so it's perfect. I'm gonna put in probably around 6 quarts. What I'm holding right now is about 5 quarts. With the extra oil cooler, takes just about an extra quart. So we're gonna pour about 6 quarts in and check our fill level. After letting the car run for a few seconds, we are right on our full mark, which is right where I like to be. I like to have just a little more than full. Oil change done, baby. We just made a little road trip up to Irvine to meet up with some of the drift boys because Rad Dan somehow got K1 Speed to let us bring crazy carts and drift around the K1 Speed track in crazy carts. And then they also have drift carts. We're almost there. I drove over an hour to come and do this, and I'm really excited about it. Also just gave this thing a proper wash, and oh my God, why is this car so good looking? Just got here and there's nobody here and it's empty. It is so weird seeing this place empty. This is a pretty interesting sight. All FD drivers, normal go-karts with like drift slicks on the back. It's like plastic tires. That's Dio Shihara in the front. Oh, that's pretty funny. Yeah, obviously not quite a normal car, but nonetheless, really fun.
Tomorrow we buy bleep. Bleep it out, baby. They can't know.
They can't know about that purchase yet.
Wait, have you said anything?
No.
You haven't?
No.
Ooh.
I don't think they'd care.
Look at me dropping Easter eggs. Why would they not care? Okay, let's give them a hint.
No.
You can't. You had a great time. It was awesome. You're glad you went. You just came home. You had a sandwich. And now you're going to bed. Good night, brothers. Peace out. Peace out and keep moving forward.